I love this pocket. I have multiple clients who have bought and sold in this area. Townhouses, you can call it Upper Junction, you can call it West St Clair West, you can call it Stockyards. If you want space in the city for under $1 million, these are, they're 14 to 1600 square feet, excellent family size unit. There are options and opportunities for families in the city of Toronto under that $1 million price point. Hey there, people. This is Josh from Under the Radar Real Estate, and you're watching our new series on Toronto family homes for under $1 million. So I hear a lot about families trying to find affordable real estate here in the city of Toronto. And so I wanted to start this series to highlight a lot of homes in many under the radar areas of the city where you can still find proper family size homes, whether it be a condo, a townhouse, any other home type, 2 to 3 bedrooms for under that $1 million mark. So let's jump right into things and let's look at these listings. So right now, you can see on the screen right now, this is my website, realestateundertheradar.ca. You can go there right now and either search the listings up here, whether it could be our listings or some office listings. But today we want to look specifically at listings under $1 million. So when you scroll to my website and you click this link right here, Hidden Gems Under $1 Million, it brings you to a new webpage that was just created for searching for homes under $1 million. So this web app that I have right here will automatically pull 2-bedroom or larger units under $1 million and mainly targeted under the radar neighborhoods. So kind of East Danforth over to Eglinton West and Weston, south of, let's say, Lawrence, are the neighborhoods that this web app will pull. But if you go to listings up here and if you want to just search MLS, you can search any neighborhood in the city. Okay, so let's head back. Let's just look at the $1 million listings. $1 million or less. Okay, so as you can see here, it is pulling 2-bedroom or larger listings. So let's go through kind of 3 to 5 listings that I personally think are great buys for potential buyers out there, families who are looking for real estate here in the city of Toronto. Okay, so the first one we are going to look at is this one right here, 677 Sorauren Avenue. So this building, if you're searching it for on the map, you won't necessarily find 377. So this is condo townhouse that is part of the 383 Sorauren condo building located in Roncesvalles. Great neighborhood, close to Sorauren Park. You're close to Roncesvalles itself, a lot of stuff on the Dundas West. And this location from a transit perspective, you can't ask for anything better, right? You're right down the street from the Up Express station at Bloor Street, where you have Up Express, Go, and the subway all right there. So super convenient location if you transit into work. You also have the West Toronto Rail Path, which is a bike path that'll get you right downtown. Okay, so let's look at this listing. I like this listing. Myself and my old business partner, Brandon, where we were involved very early on with this project, selling a few units in it. So I've always loved it, right? From the inception when I saw the floor plans to now. So 377 Sorauren, it's a 3-bed, 3-bath condo townhouse, just under 1,300 square feet. It says that right here in the listing, nearly 1,300 square feet of interior living space. So great size for a family. Generally, we want to look at over 1,000 square feet, ideally for families, because then it feels just like a little bit more space. So it's a 2-story unit listed for $900,000. 3 bedrooms, like I said, 3 bathrooms, and maintenance fees $845. So some of you maybe are already screaming at the TV. That's high for maintenance, but I'll tell you right now, houses have maintenance fees. You can scream at me all you want in the comments, but houses have maintenance fees. You just don't notice it because it's not a monthly payment that you're required to pay every month. But I can guarantee you, in my experience, houses have maintenance fees. A 1,300 square foot house, yeah, maybe it's not $845 a month, but you're probably $400 to $500 a month in maintenance costs for a 1,300 square foot house. Here, you're just paying a slight premium for access to amenities like a gym, a party room. You are going to be paying for I mean, the maintenance of the grounds, right? You think if you own a house, you're cutting the lawn, you're shoveling the driveway. You don't do any of that here with a condo townhouse. So that's where those fees go. Taxes, $5,600, totally reasonable for that size of unit, very on par with most houses around the same size in that area. Although talk about houses in that area, any of you who have looked in Roncesvalles, it's really tough to find a house that will be renovated to this spec in Ronce for listed under $1 million. Now, it doesn't mention it here, but I would assume that this one is underlisted a little bit. So I think there's some expectation that this will go possibly just over $1 million. If you want any information on that, feel free to reach out and we can go over the actual comps on this one. But let's look at the finishes. I mean, finish beautifully, modern finishes kind of throughout. That last picture was of the powder room that's on the main floor. Head upstairs, and I mean, the coolest thing about this, like a condo townhouse, it doesn't feel like a condo, right? You look out and you just have neighbors across the street, and really gives you that feeling of just being in a regular house in Ronce. Great finishes kind of again throughout. That's the ensuite. This would be the extra bedroom. This would be the second bedroom. So yeah, great finishes. This is one of the amenities you get in the building, right? So you have a great party room with an outdoor terrace, gym, excellent gym. And then that's a picture of Sorauren Park. And then you have the hero shot of the building. So all in all, great house, great way to start off this video series on houses listed under $1 million, family-sized listings under $1 million. Okay, so let's look for another one. Let's find an actual house. Let me take a look through here. Let's pick Sonnet, or let's go to the East End. 107 Barker Avenue. This one here listed for $989. Another one that is probably a little underlisted. I actually think this one probably will sell quite a bit over $1 million. Nice house listed under $1 million, but let's look at something else, because I think that one is probably going to jump a little bit over $1 million. And we want to keep this for listings that will likely stay around that $1 million mark or under. Okay, let's actually circle back west. 734 Brock Avenue. Okay, so listing, excellent location, right? When we're talking 734 Brock, you can see here on the map, right? So Wallace and Brock Street. So the major intersection would be kind of Wallace and Dufferin, right? So super close to the subway, super close to some of the trendiest restaurants and bars along that stretch of Bloordale. So listed here for $879,900. It's a 3-bedroom plus one. So probably that fourth bedroom is likely in the basement. Decent sized lot, right? So 17 by almost 80-foot lot. And taxes, $4,500. And with this one, it actually looks like it's been recently renovated, right? So pretty nice curb appeal on this one. Right, let's go through some of the photos. Man, a lot of photos of the exterior on this one. And then they took a photo of the front door. Interesting choice. And then the stairs. Okay, there we go. Living room photo. So when you walk in, I mean, the thing is with this house, it looks like it has just been renovated. And sometimes I have problems with these kind of whitewashed spaces where just everything is very white and clean. But the nice thing with that is that it's really easy to make these types of spaces feel a lot more warm with just like a coat of paint, right? So first thing I do in this house is just come in and kind of change up the color palette just a little bit to add a little bit more warmth to it. But I understand why they did this, because they want to make it clean and crisp and let the new owner personalize the space. So second shot of the living room. That painting is a little crooked. All right, so this is probably the shot that I would have led with if I had this listing. I love this, right? So you can see outside, you look out onto a park, or yeah, it looks like actually where this is, it's likely a school right across the street. So, which is nice to have. You have kids yelling and playing when it's recess. So a really cool thing to walk out to in your house. Front door there, and then stairs to go upstairs. Yeah, looks like a recent reno. I don't know what this room is. Looks like actually an old vestibule type room that goes off to the backyard. We want to see the kitchen. There we go, kitchen. Again, I probably would have, after living room, would have gone straight to this kitchen photo, but anyhow, not my listing. All right, so decent kitchen reno. Again, here, all white, kind of whitewashed. I would probably come in and maybe like add some color to these cabinets. Yeah, warm it up a little bit. But again, decent reno here. We go upstairs, 3 bedrooms, all well renovated. It looks like a nice space. But the thing I like with this one, what I think it has, oh yeah, here we go, down to the basement. Looks like it has been set up as like a in-law suite, income suite. Now, really quickly looking at these photos, like when I look at this one and then I go to this one, I have a inkling that this is probably a fairly low ceiling. So you can tell here with this back door, doesn't look like a full-size door. Same thing with this one here that likely goes, looks like it's probably like a utility room behind that door. Just where the location of the handle is here and where the ceiling is, I would assume that this ceiling up here, maybe 6 feet tall, maybe just over. You can also just tell from like the riser between like where the countertop is in the ceiling, right? Counters are generally 36 to 40 plus something inches tall. So there's not a lot of space between this countertop and the ceiling. So that leads me to guess it's about 6 feet in height. So I don't know if I necessarily use it as an income suite, but I do like these types of listings because while it's not necessarily income suite where you necessarily want to have a renter paying for it down there, I mean, you could, but personally I wouldn't. It is a great space where if you are a family up there who has an older kid, perhaps in high school or about to head to university, for them to have their own kind of private space, right? So it's nice where they have on walkout, they have like this little kitchenette right here. So you can give them that little bit of freedom to have their own space that's connected to the house so they can still go up and raid your pantry, but they still have their own private space with a walkout, right? So yeah, again, if you have a kid in high school or about to head to university and you want to save a little bit of money on those residence costs, have them go to U of T or TMU or York, or Seneca College, Humber College, and then just be able to live at home and still have a little bit of independence, right? So yeah, not much of a backyard. It's either backyard or parking with this one. But again, this is a great house if you, again, have older kids and you don't necessarily require a large backyard because they're not necessarily playing around anymore. Enough space for a car, and you are right across from a school park, right? So you still have a little bit of green space. If you have a big dog and you want them to run around, you can head to the park and do that. Another very, very nice listing, under $1 million here in the city of Toronto. Okay, now let's look for something a little bit different. Let's check out 270 Scarlett Road. Older condo building in one of the under the radar neighborhoods. So this one would be like in that area between kind of Rockcliffe-Smythe and Mount Dennis. Really like this building. Huge units. So it's a 2-bed, 2-bath, older building. But if you look here at this floor plan, right? I mean, these are the types of floor plans that are excellent, right? I mean, there's a ton of space here, right? So you'd walk into the unit right here. You have your dining, your living, kitchen, and then you have that hallway off that. I mean, for a lot of condos, there's a push to have, I mean, there are a lot of people like the idea of the split bedroom design where you have bedrooms on either side of the living room, which is cool. And it's a good way to maximize space in a small space. So for smaller layouts, I really do like the split bedroom where you have a bedroom on either side of the living room to maximize your space. But in these older condos where you actually have a little bit more square footage, I like the idea of walking in, you have your living dining room, and then you have a hallway where it acts as a little bit of a sound isolator, right? So if someone's in the living room, either watching TV or playing video games or whatever, the people who are in their bedrooms don't necessarily need to hear it, right? Because you do have the thicker structural wall, it seems like right here. So the sound doesn't necessarily travel that easily down here into the bedrooms. Or if you have a little one and a younger one, this back bedroom all the way at the back where you have the primary here and you have like laundry room, bathroom would isolate quite a bit of the noise. So this back bedroom right here would be fairly quiet. I do love these types of layouts. So this one right here, I don't know if they have the exact size anywhere here. It says 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. Did it say it in the description exactly how big it was? No, it has 135 square foot terrace, which is excellent. Yeah, if I see it, I'll point it out. But let's look at some of the stats for this listing. Maintenance fees, $864. Again, very reasonable maintenance fees for this size of unit. And especially in these older buildings, quite often a lot is included in your maintenance fees. in a lot of these buildings. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I remember what's included. Okay, here we go. So your heat's included, your water's included, your AC's included, cable TV's included, parking, your hydro, that's a huge one. So electricity is included in your maintenance fee, building insurance, common element. So it's fairly all inclusive. I mean, even cable TV. So your only thing you're paying extra here would be your insurance and your internet connection, which is excellent. Amenities in this building. There's a car wash. Wow, that's wild. Exercise room, outdoor pool. I didn't even know there was a car wash there. I'm actually kind of surprised. I knew some of these other amenities existed in this building. I didn't know there was a car wash. Outdoor pool, sauna, visitor parking. So the nice thing with these old buildings, they have a ton of amenities, which is really nice, that you don't get in newer buildings. All right, now let's look at the photos. I mean, we went through the stats really quickly. Let's look at the photos. So I absolutely love this. I'm a sucker for mid-century modern and sunken living rooms. So when you walk in, you have this little like cool dining area, and then you have, this is it here. So you walk in, little dining area. I mean, they did some custom closet type stuff here, which is really cool. Then you have the kind of closed-in kitchen right there, but this is what I love. I mean, that mid-century modern sunken living room. I love that. It's a great way to divide the space, but have it still feel fairly open, right? I mean, all this is still open. So if you're entertaining or whatever, you can still entertain guests. If you're in the kitchen right here and your guests are in the living room, you're still able to entertain, still open, and you have that little step down. Love it. I wish they actually developed sunken living rooms again. I'd love to see, if developers are watching this, make sunken living rooms great again. And then it has a walkout to that 135 square foot terrace, which is also very, very nice. They've renovated the kitchen here. It's a tight kitchen. I have seen some units where they kind of open up this wall right here just to make it a little bit more open. I don't believe it's a structural wall. I mean, don't quote me on that. You'd have to talk to the condo board and go through those drawings, but I'm pretty sure I have seen units here where they've knocked down or even part of this wall and opened it up a little bit, because the kitchen is a little tight. I'm not going to lie there. But then we move on to the bedrooms. Great sized bedrooms. You have an ensuite right there, walk-in closet. Just the dimensions of all these rooms are huge. Look at this walk-in closet, massive. Laundry, a lot of old buildings, a lot of times you don't have ensuite laundry, so it's really nice to see it in this building. Second bathroom, and then the back bedroom. And all those bedrooms are very, very nice in size, right? So you can see nice window right here, looks out onto, this is actually first floor unit. So again, feels like a house. Yeah, great, great, great building. Well manicured lawns. Even though it's an old building, they really take really good care of it. Yeah, there's the outdoor pool, entryway. Yeah, can't say enough. Every time I've gone and done showings of those buildings, I always love it. So you can see here on the map kind of where it's located, right near the Scarlett Woods Golf Club. Here, let me actually zoom it out a little bit. Get a better idea where it is, right? So it's that area, like I said, Weston's up here. You have kind of the Stockyards area right in here, right? And then you have High Park. So you're really, I mean, again, it's a very convenient location. Right here at Black Creek and Eglinton, they're actually building a massive kind of transit hub where the Crosstown LRT is going to meet the Up Express and it's going to meet the GO train. So you're not too far from there either. And then you have the extension of the Eglinton Crosstown that's going to go down right here. So you jump on that Scarlett bus up to Eglinton, and then you can go anywhere in the city. Or, you take it's still a bus right now. You take the bus south, and you can get onto the streetcar in St. Clair and move east if you want, right? So very convenient location, and didn't even talk price, $728,000 for that size of unit, which gives you ton of amenities, great access to the city. So can't talk enough about that location. At $728,000, under $800,000. It's a pretty good deal. And I've seen listings in that building that are non-renovated that have gone for in the sixes. Yeah, I mean, that's if there's anything you take away from this first episode of this, that is a truly under the radar building, under the radar listing, worth keeping a close tab on. All right, now let's see if we can find something over in the East End. We've been very West heavy. Let's see if we can find something over in the East End for the ones who are watching. They're looking the East. Plaxton Drive, maybe we'll take a look at that one. Let's see. I mean, I'm sure there's some people watching this and being like, I want to see this one, I want to see that one. What does Plaxton look like? Let's see. That one needs a little bit of TLC. Priced at $869. It's okay. If you're a renovator out there, I think that one's worth taking a look at if you're open to doing renovations. Let's find something that's a little bit more move-in ready. Drayton, I think this one also might need a little bit of work. I can't remember. Nope, this one is a nice one. Yes, there we go. 149 Drayton Avenue, listed for $799,900. Again, location East Danforth near Coxwell. Excellent. I love this little pocket of homes right here. I actually sold a home on Eastland last year. Love this pocket. This is another very under the radar pocket of Toronto that is undervalued in my opinion, right? So 2+1, that +1 is probably in the basement, but good sized lot, 14 by 100. 100-foot depth in this area is actually really good. Taxes $2,000 a year or $2,154. Excellent. Again, yeah, listed $799,000. Let's look through these photos. I think of this when the photo is going to tell everything. So walk in, great little living room right off the front door with a porch right there. Love that. And let's get on to the kitchen. Yeah, great size kitchen for this size of house. This is actually a really, really well-designed kitchen. I love the size of this with fairly modern appliances, stainless steel. I love how they went with the warmer tone wood. Brings a lot of warmth to the space. I mean, we saw in one of those last listings when they went with very, very light finishes throughout. It kind of removes the warmth. They added a little bit of warmth through going those slightly darker tones. Then you have that dining room at the back of the house that leads out to the backyard. I would actually probably flip it. If I owned this house, I'd probably flip it. I'd probably have like a more of a formal kind of dining sitting room in the front of the house. I would actually move the living room back here if this was my house. I understand why the stager did it, but if I actually lived here, this would be my living room back here because you have that great kind of living indoor-outdoor back there. Oh, they didn't go right to the backyard right away. But let's scroll back a little bit. There we go. So yeah, so I could just see if you put a couch right back here, your TV on this wall over here, and then you have that kind of indoor-outdoor living. Excellent. All right, and they wanted to go straight up to the bedrooms. So these houses are generally designed when you walk up these stairs, you'd have kind of just bedrooms on either side of the stairs. So go up, this is a little landing. First bedroom right there, likely on the left. Great size bedroom. Closet. And then we move over to the second bedroom. Or is that the second? No, here we go. Second bedroom. Enough space for small single bed. I mean, they put a chair in there as well. If you didn't have a recliner chair in there, you could probably fit a double bed in there, no problem. It's fairly large pieces of furniture in that room. Whoops. Nice washroom. So the +1, this is probably the extra bedroom that they're talking about down in the basement. But again, designed really, really nicely. Perfect space. Again, there's a lot of these houses where someone will see a 2+1. And I understand if you're a family with young kids, you're not going to put one of your younger kids downstairs. But there's a lot of families out there who have older kids, right? So this is a perfect house, again, where if you have like a teenager, and by teenager, I don't necessarily mean it's someone who's like 17, but like a 12, 13-year-old, I mean, it's a great space for them downstairs. When I grew up, I lived in my basement because I wanted nothing to do with the second floor and being near my parents, my sister, and all that. When you go through those teenage angst years, you can be angsty down in the basement, right? So, and not only that, you get your own private bathroom down there. So yeah, if you have an older kid, basement is not a bad space for them, right? Because they want to be away from everyone else, but still close enough to the family, right? So when they need food or they need a hug, they're still not that far away. Anyhow, washer dryer down there, nicely renovated bathroom. Backyard is excellent. 100-foot depth lot. I mean, you have space where if you have a dog, they have enough space to kind of run around and do their thing back there. Or if you do still have little kids or just one little kid, still a ton of space back there. Yeah, can't say enough about this house. And listed for $799. It's probably going to sell a little bit over that, but I feel, I mean, this is just me talking without looking at any comps. Based on that number, it probably stays around $1 million, maybe just under, maybe just over, because I don't believe it has parking. So yeah, parking probably keeps this one under that $1 million range, maybe just over. I don't know. I'd have to look at the comps. If you're interested in this house, reach out and we can run through the numbers and see exactly what it could potentially sell for. All right. So great listing out in the east. Let's look at one more. Let's look at something a little bit different. Birdstone. Maybe I'm going to go over to Birdstone. I love this pocket. I have multiple clients who have bought and sold in this area. Townhouses in the kind of, I mean, you can call it Upper Junction, you can call it West St Clair West, you can call it Stockyards. That's kind of the pocket where these are located. They are condo townhouses, but they are, I mean, if you want space in the city for under $1 million, these are, I mean, they're 14 to 1600 square feet. I don't know how exactly how big this one is, but yeah, maintenance fees, $400 a month that cover basically the maintenance of the exterior, the maintenance of the condo corp. You do pay your separate bill for hydro and your gas and so on. Taxes, $3,800. But the thing I love with these is there's a little parkette in the community. So if you have little kids, the park is nice and close by. You are, I mean, in terms of convenience, you have the nation's grocery store, which is right across the street, and all the other retail that's in that little pocket. I think there's like a Sport Check there. You have Michael's, you have a whole bunch of cool retailers. You also have like a Home Depot across the street, McDonald's for those of you who want a quick meal. There's also a ton of other like food within near that nations. I think there's a Chipotle there. You have Firehouse Subs, a lot of cool little spots right in that. And not only that, you're still close to West St Clair West and not that far from the junction as well, where if you want to have a little bit more elevated dining, you're still close to all of that. But yeah, looking through the photos here, I mean, you are getting a ton of space in this unit. You are getting like a proper live dine. You have a powder room here on that second floor, great size, and I love the color. Looks like an updated kitchen. Looks like they might have just painted the cabinets, but yeah, nice refresh to this kitchen with a little walkout to a little patio back there where you have a barbecue. Here it is, a little walkout. This is now up on the second floor, 3 full bedrooms on the second floor, which is wild, right? And I think so there's usually an ensuite off the primary bedroom. This is the primary right here, walk-in closet with an ensuite. Here's the walk-in closet. Here's the ensuite. And then you have the second bathroom right there. And then the 2 bedrooms back here. They're both really decent sized as well, right? So whether it be you need 2 bedrooms for 2 kids or you need an office plus a bedroom, you have the space. But actually, now that I even mentioned office, I mean, we probably skipped that in one of the first photos. Let's go back, or let's keep going. They're scrolling through. Oh, this photo right here that they're showing, there's actually a brand new transit station that's getting built right here. So you have a GO train. I think it's part of the original Smart Track. Yeah, so there is a brand new transit station that's getting built right behind where these townhouses are. So in terms of convenience, try to get downtown. Once that is built, I mean, that's ultra convenient. You also have streetcar that starts right there, St. Clair West streetcar. That'll take you down to Bathurst or Yonge Street to jump on the subway. Here's all the retail that's close by. Some good shots of showing how central this unit is located. I show another hero shot there. So let's go back to what I want to talk about. So this is the entryway of this house. Really nice, well manicured. And when you first walk in, boom, right here, that's an extra office. So it's a 3-bedroom plus this den, which is a nice office space. So if you do work from home, the nice thing is this is on a completely separate floor. So you have a separate floor that looks out, that has a big picture window. So this is actually an office that you'd probably want to actually work in. And if you're working in a profession where you actually have clients come to your house, right, to consult or whatever it is, it's a private space that's off from the rest of the living space. So it's actually a nice space where if you're actually bringing clients over, they don't have to walk up through your house. They can just walk in through the front door, walk into your office, and then walk out, which is super convenient. The washer dryer's down there, and this door right here goes off to the garage. So most of these houses, you do have a garage, and sometimes some of them are designed where you may have space to park a car right behind the garage. I'm not too sure with this one, but yeah, excellent family-sized unit. So we're approaching 30 minutes on this. I don't want to go too much longer. Let's just take another quick little scan to see if there's anything else. Maybe I'll give the east end a little bit more love if I can find something quickly here. But ultimately, as you can see, as we go through these listings, there are options and opportunities for families in the city of Toronto under that $1 million price point. So really what this whole series is meant to show is that you don't need to jump out to the suburbs right away. That's really what I'm getting to. You don't need to, as soon as you have a family, decide, okay, well, I was living in Toronto and there's nowhere for me to live and I'm going to jump out to the suburbs right away. Let me click on this listing. This is listed at $949,900. It's probably going to sell just over $1 million. But if there's some of you who have a budget for just over $1 million, I love Scarborough Road. I lived on Scarborough Road when I first moved to Toronto way back in 2002, 2003. It was a long time ago. I'm old now. I moved here for school. Scarborough Road. We'll end this off here. This looks like a beautiful listing. It's likely going to sell maybe just over $1 million, but excellent location in the Upper Beach. Looks like a very nicely renovated home. Oh, beautiful kitchen. I love the tones that they use. It's kind of off-white, cream color. Maybe they call it taupe. I don't know. Very nice listing. Listed on Scarborough Road. Beautiful. Reno, top to bottom, looks excellent. So if you have budgets that are probably just over $1 million, right across from the school, oh yeah, excellent listing here on Scarborough Road in the East End, Upper Beach. This looks like the basement. Again, really, really nicely done. Beautiful house. This one here, yeah, listed $949,000, 2-bed, 2-bath, front yard parking, taxes $4,000 a year. Yeah, excellent listing out in the East End. So yeah, so as I wrap it up, again, this series is really just meant for people to show that, hey, there's options for you out there. And why did I choose $1 million? It's still a fairly large sum of money, but if you look at double income family or even a single income family, if you can get to that family income of $150,000 to $200,000, $1 million is a little bit of an easier price point to get to, right? When you look at CMHC financing, where you only need to put 5% as a down payment, it's a little bit easier to get to that $70,000, $80,000, maybe $100,000 in savings rather than, CMHC, you can go all the way up to 1.5 million, but now you're talking into that $100,000+ down payment. Then when you factor in closing costs and land transfer tax and all those other things, you generally have to have $200,000 plus in the bank to be able to close on that type of property. So long story short, $1 million seemed like a pretty good bar to say, let's look at listings under that price point. You can find a family-sized home here in the city that can likely fit your budget. So if there's any of the listings here that you're interested in getting more information on or seeing, definitely reach out. Contact info is located in the description down below. You can even send me a DM. Follow me even on Instagram. I'm probably most active there. You follow me on TikTok too, but I'm not really, I post on there. I'm not active, but follow me on Instagram. If you want to DM me there, you can send me a DM on Instagram. It's at Real Estate Under the Radar, I believe is my Instagram handle. Check me out there or send me an email, even book a call if you want to chat. I'm here to help you out. So more than happy to help you with any of the listings we saw here today, or if there's anything else. Oh, and also just if you want to scroll these listings, head to my website, realestateundertheradar.ca. And I'm not going to give you the whole long tail URL, but if you just go here, click this link right here, Hidden Gems Under $1 Million, and you'll be able to see all those listings right there. And yeah, you can even sign up for an account. You can get listings sent to all those $1 million listings sent to you automatically if you want as well. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. And next week, we're going to hit you with the freshest new $1 million listings that hit over the next 7 days. And we'll see what's new, what's popping. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.